part one of this two-part exploration, you will measure how the pressure of a confined gas changes with changes in the volume. The gas will be captured in a syringe which has volume scale printed on it. The syringe will be attached to an absolute pressure sensor to measure the pressure of the gas within the syringe. In part two, you will use the absolute pressure sensor to measure the pressure of the gas inside a rigid container and use a temperature sensor to measure the temperature of the water bath in which the container is immersed. You will then use a graph of absolute pressure versus temperature data to determine the relationship between the pressure and temperature to estimate the value of absolute zero.
Our first pre-lab question states, in general, what change in pressure do you expect to see as the volume changes? And then explain. Gas molecules bouncing onto surfaces is related to the idea of gas pressure. A change of volume in a container of gas results in a different number of collisions, therefore a different amount of pressure. The pressure of a constant volume of gas will be affected by changes in temperature. And then the second pre-lab question states, why is it important to keep the temperature constant during the experiment? It is important to keep the temperature constant because temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of gas molecules. In other words, this implies that the molecules, the colder everything gets, the slower the molecules. Thus, the temperature at which all motion stops must be the coldest temperature possible. This temperature is called absolute zero. And that's our first pre-lab questions.
Alright, then next, these are materials that you will be needing for your lab. First, you'll be starting off with the Passport Explorer GLX. Then, you start off with also Passport Absolute Pressure Temperature Sensor, or Passport Absolute Pressure Sensor. Then you need a temperature probe, a hot plate, an aluminum can, a quick release connector with sensor on it, tubing along with the sensor, rubber stuffing with a hole, a right angle clamp, small tripod base, rod, and a beaker followed by tongs, a 3-finger clamp, a syringe, and a Technic. Also, you will need consumables such as glycerin, which is the main source. You also will need a rubber band and water, about one liter. And the purpose of this lab is just to explore the different gas changes within confined changes in volume and measure the pressure of gas, and thus also measure the temperature of gas.
Okay.
Okay. So random, but okay. So we got our Explorer GLX. Now we're going to attach the connector onto the Explorer GLX right here. And we're going to connect our tubing, which is right here. And then we're going to start our first, we're going to get the syringe.
Well, first we need the glycerin.
Put a drop.
We're going to put a drop on the end of the glycerin, and on the end of the tubing.
Oh, wait, what?
And then we're going to...
Wait,
I think that's about it.
am I putting a drop in there?
I guess.
I think you're dropping some.
Yeah, you got some.
It
in
was
there.
like just dropping out.
Yeah.
Okay, and you put a...
Do you
okay.
want to like lift it up?
And then we're going to connect the syringe, we're going to connect the tubing onto the syringe.
Okay, I got a drop.
Right here. Where's the
What's the
syringe?
syringe is right there.
I'm going to put the end on the syringe. We're going to... So we attach it like this, very easy. And then we're going to adjust it to 20, which is about
Down some more. Right
to right here.
there. Yeah. And then
And then we're going to align the quick release connector onto one end of the plastic tubing. And we're going to then...
In continuation, we originally go from the home screen, which is this little house button right here. Then we go to sensor button, which is F4. Then we go to F1. And from here, you get this data point. And then what you do is that you set this you set this to manual mode by pressing F1, which goes to annual mode, and then you press it to manual. And now you change the measurement main into volume. And that's check. Then we go down. In the measurement unit, we will enter. We will measure it in milliliters. Okay, check. Never mind. Okay. Then we scroll down to number of digits and press plus for one past digit beyond the decimal, then check, then F1. Then we go to the home button, press F1 again, and we get a graph here. Then we press check mark, and use the arrow keys to highlight the x-axis label. Then we press check mark again and use the arrow keys to change to volume. Then press check mark. Then you press record. When you press the little flag button right here, you'll be prompted to enter the volume on the syringe. Enter the volume and press F1. The GLX will assign the pressure reading this value. Change the volume in the syringe by compressing to about 16 milliliters. Then hold the syringe at this position and press F4.
Hold on.
Enter.
Okay, hold on. Okay, good, I guess. Wait.
Hold the syringe at this position and press the flag button, then enter the volume and press F1. Continue this process to obtain 5 to 6 data points. Don't compress below 6 milliliters or the syringe may leak. When you have collected your data points, press this button.